Kitty. So how are you?
All right. So far, so good. Had a long flight down here.
Okay, I hear you on that. So how was the flight?
He was a weird guy trying to talk to me. I just, ignored him blatantly.
I hear you on that. Now, you're originally from Florida?
Yes, I am. Born and raised.
Definitely, I hear you on that. So tell me how it was growing up in Florida.
Definitely different than where I live now. It is so cold. So cold. I cannot do anything below 40, maybe 50 degrees. I don't own a puffer jacket. I don't own a winter jacket. I just go outside in spring jackets and hope for the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the people is, they are strange up here. There is no common courtesy. There's no, hey, how are you, before I check out or anything. It's just, you don't say anything. I think it's rude, but up here it's a known thing to just not say how are you if I don't know you.
Oh yeah, I hear you. That's the Southern hospitality.
That is not up here.
Yeah, most definitely. I hear you. So what do you do for a living?
I work on cars.
Okay.
Mechanic.
So how did you get into mechanic work?
My dad was in the Army and he worked on trucks, and I kind of just followed suit, but I didn't want to always work on cars. I thought I wanted to be a vet at first. I did a year of vet school and it was not for me. So I went to trade school, got a degree, and now I work for myself.
Okay, that's what's up, because nowadays you gotta have, more than one hustle, and a lot of people are actually working for themselves now, you know what I mean? A lot of people aren't going to punch a 9 to 5.
No, not at all. Everybody's content creators, video specialists, photographers, all the above. All kinds of things. The pandemic brought the best out of people, I guess.
Indeed. Now, you dance as well?
I do. On the side, more so. But I would not make a complete career out of it because it's not a long-term thing that I think anybody should do. I think it's okay to get money and okay to stack, okay to build, okay to better yourself, but it's not a good place to be at for the rest of your life. It's too unpredictable.
Oh yeah, most definitely, because there is a time clock. You get older, you age and everything like that, and so it's good to make your money now.
Yeah, what do you really look like being on stage at 45?
Exactly, Yes, definitely. So how did you get into dancing?
I was actually looking to pay my student loans off from veterinary school, and I figured, you know what, this is actually pretty okay money, and I just kind of stuck with it ever since.
Okay. You remember your first night as a dancer?
I do. I met one of my favorite regulars actually on my first night dancing. It was definitely an experience, a anxiety-filled, thumb-twiddling, anticipating feeling, walking into a club and not knowing really what you're doing, just knowing you have to look for it and get up there and make things groovy.
Okay, I understand. So, take me on your first day as a dancer. Now, were the girls mean to you, or?
Some of them were, and some of them weren't. And when I say that, I mean, you have those people who come in to work. You have the people who come in to make friends. You have the people who come in to gossip. And you really don't want to be a part of the last two because they do nothing but hang around the same group of people all day and only talk to their regulars and nobody else. And that's not really a good place for you to be, especially as a baby dancer, because then you get so caught up in that cycle of coming in to see your friends and not coming in to make money, which is what you came there for. And then you have the small percentage of girls who are just haters and don't like anything that looks or seems better than them. But as long as you're confident in yourself, the next person really shouldn't matter.
Okay, I understand. And that first night could be really nervous and nerve-wracking. working and everything
Definitely.
like that. You know what I mean?
And you would think that alcohol helps. No, it doesn't. It didn't help me at all. It actually just made me a bit more jittery and nervous. Because then I had to like heighten my awareness about my surroundings. Because you're drunk, you know, you're in a club, you're already half naked. Not a good place to be. White girl wasted.
Yeah.
But it is definitely an experience and not for the weak or the people who have insecurities, because one thing, if somebody doesn't like you, they're going to point out the thing that they don't like the most. They're going to be like, oh, well, I think you should get your titties done or whatever the case. And again, as long as you're okay with yourself, none of that should matter.
Okay, so on a good night, matter of fact, a lot of people they're they wonder if being a dancer is worth it. Are you making good money? Like on a good night, how much are you bringing in?
On a good night, and our shifts usually range anywhere from, it depends on what time of day it is, anywhere from 3 hours to 6 hours. Again, just depends on the time of day. But in a 4-hour shift, I've made close to $850, maybe $900. And it doesn't seem like much, but to only go to work for one day and make $900 and not have to go back, that's my kind of party.
Oh yeah, 900 in one night. Shoot, that's better than any job paying.
Easily.
Most definitely.
Not accounting for taxes, but.
Yeah. I hear you on that. So what makes you not want to go get a 9 to 5 versus doing your own thing with the mechanic and dancing?
I like my freedom. I like being able to not go to work for a week if I really want to. If I really need it mentally or whatever the case, I want to be able to make that decision without having a boss ask me why, ask me for excuse notes. I just don't feel like it. I don't feel up to it. I don't feel like it's going to be a good idea for me to be there today because I don't think I'll be in a good mood. But managers don't see it like that. They see it as you just don't want to come in. And that's not something I really wanted to deal with. So I was like, I'll dance, I'll make my own schedule, work 2 nights a week for 3 months and be up, I don't know, however much money.
I hear you. Now, when it comes to dances and stuff like that, we see TV shows like P-Valley and stuff like that where the girls are fighting in there. Have you ever came across some fights?
I have ran into girls who just aren't the most light-spirited. They're more so evil, just bad people to be around, narcissists, think that the world revolves around them. And I've had really strong personalities contest them. And that contesting, it always winds up in a shoe being thrown, a drink being thrown, something. And then it's up because it's a whole bunch of girls that are friends and it's a big, big mess.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Now, when it comes to like stalkers and stuff like that, have you ever had a stalker in there?
I have had stalker-like people, but never somebody who like found out where I worked or whatever the case. And I'm glad that I never had to deal with that because I know girls who have literally been like followed home and robbed, whatever the case, because they didn't want to talk to that person anymore. So it definitely has its ups and downs. It's not for the weak.
Okay, I now, what about the girls that are self-conscious that, they want to start dancing, but they don't want their family to find out? What would you say to them?
Number one thing, I didn't want my family to find out at first either. And I'm not going to say that it's a mandatory for you to tell them. But it does bring a little bit of insight to your family about where you are, what you're doing. They can at least try to keep an eye on you, whatever the case. As if, like, let's say you disappear for 3 days. People think you work a regular job, and you tell your parents you work at ShopRite. They're going to go to ShopRite looking for you, not the club. But, number one thing, don't go too far from home because you have to account for you driving to and from there. You have to account for if it's a bad day and you make $15 and your tank is on E. That's where that $15 is going. And definitely start in the daytime. If you don't want family to know, daytime is your best bet. Because the only people that are in clubs during the day are old men and people who have way too much money to know what to do with.
I hear you. Now, a lot of the dancers, they have other things that they do as well too, such as OnlyFans and stuff like that. You got an OnlyFans?
Yes, I do. And I started actually because I would get requested to make OnlyFans or personalized videos, and that's kind of what it started as. I would say, hey, you want 2 videos? Okay, that's $35. They're however long, and that makes people feel like they have a bit more of a personal connection with you, as opposed to this personality that you have. So maybe 2 or 3 months after selling videos, I just went ahead and made one, and it's been great ever since.
Okay, I hear you on that. And the thing about OnlyFans, you always got to be consistent with it.
Yes, if you are not consistent, it will show. I know girls who are literally doing it all day, do nothing but talk to people, whether it be making videos, whether it be uploading content, whether it be uploading thirst traps on Instagram. They're always doing something to progress in the content creator world, as opposed to putting one picture up a week and it not even being that exotic.
Okay, let me ask you this question now. Say if you could do something different, like restart your life over, would you still take the same path of being a dancer, content creator, and everything like that, or would you change it?
If I'm being honest, if I could change it, honestly, I would have probably went into the military. Because it's a great way to get to know people, it's a great way to travel, see the world, get paid while doing it. But I didn't want to deal with the contract, so I didn't. But I can guarantee you if I had to, I would. Hands down. Sign me over.
Oh yeah, but the thing about the military, they shipping everybody off like crazy.
Crazy. I know 2 people who got shipped in the past 2 months because of everything going on in the world.
They got sent over the... Wow, that's crazy.
All the way over to like the refugee camp. I don't know if that's the right word. And when I say they are fresh out of basic training, I mean they can barely put their uniform on right still. And you're gonna send them out into the field. So I guess I'm glad that I stuck with what I stuck with and didn't try to take an easier route. I like hard work. Hard work and dedication always pays off.
Okay. So what's the end goal for all this?
Definitely have my own car modification business. So I want to do painting, I want to do vinyl wraps, ceramic coatings, a little bit of everything. Just because there's a big market in it now. Everybody's buying these old cars that are, let's say, V6s or V8s and putting a K-swap in there. I know that may not make a lot of sense to people, but the people that know, they know.
All right, definitely. So it was good talking to you. You gave a lot of good answers, a lot of information for the new girls coming up in the game.
I'm glad I could try to shed some light. That's all I'm trying to do. Help some people along their journey. It's not easy to find yourself, but when you look hard enough, it'll come.
Definitely. Thank you.
You're welcome.